They say wealth brings comfort, but not companionship. In the heart of a city drowned in noise and luxury, lived a man who had everything, except what he truly needed. His name was Dominic Kalu, business magnate, billionaire, a man whose name opened doors, but whose heart had been shut by betrayal. Time and again, women came, charming, beautiful, promising love. But once they tasted his wealth, they left, taking not just his money, but parts of his soul. He had given cars, houses, his trust, and in return, lies, manipulation, heartbreak. Until one quiet night, alone in the mirror's gaze, he asked himself a question. Dominic said, "Do they love me, or just the life I give them?" That question became the fire that changed everything. He disappeared from the world of private jets and champagne meetings, and reappeared as someone forgotten, unknown, poor. He called himself Mr. Dan, wore old clothes, took up menial jobs, and settled into a dirty, broken room in the slums. He gave up the crown to search for the truth. Then came two women, two souls, two destinies, friends by circumstance, but soon one would reveal her heart of gold, the other her hunger for gold. Tina was bold, flashy, always chasing more. She laughed loudly, but listened little. Amara was quiet, gentle. She noticed his limp, offer him food, not out of pity, but care. To them, he was a struggling man. But to him, they were a test, a final trial for a broken heart. Then came the test. He gave both women a task. Guard this money for me, nothing more. A simple request that would reveal everything. Tina vanished. The money disappeared with her. But Amara returned every single naira. Eyes kind, heart steady, her only wealth was integrity. And in that moment, he wept. Not because he was poor, but because, at last, he had found something priceless. Then came the reveal. The man she loved in rags stood before her in royalty. Dominic Kalu, no longer hidden. Tina arrived late, carrying regrets she could no longer cash in. The doors of his heart had closed. In a world obsessed with wealth, one man chose truth over luxury, and one woman chose love over riches. And together, they proved that the heart that stays when there's nothing deserves everything. The journey that began in dust arrived at destiny. He opened the door of the sleek black SUV. She stepped in, unsure, quiet, wrapped in questions. The seat cradled her like a stranger's embrace. Her world was changing, and she wasn't sure if she was ready. She whispered, unsure, "Why me?" He smiled, the kind of smile that speaks through silence. "Because you chose me when I had nothing, and that means everything." The gates opened like a fairy tale. Fountains leapt in celebration. Guards stood at attention. Flowers paved their path. It wasn't just an estate. It was a kingdom. And the girl beside him, a queen, unaware of her crown. Her voice trembled. This can't be your house." "Welcome to your new reality," he said. Room by room, she wandered like a ghost through a dream. Chandeliers sparkled. Curtains of silk kissed her fingertips. A library that whispered stories. A garden that touched the clouds. And yet, her heart whispered one thing. "I don't deserve this." He answered her soul, not her voice. "You gave me something money couldn't buy. Peace." But not every heart celebrated this union. From the balcony, another pair of eyes watched, sharp, calculating, cold. He was family, but not a friend. In his mind, love was a transaction, and she wasn't part of the deal. "A market girl," he scoffed. "He left a senator's daughter for this?" One sip of scotch. One bitter decision. Find out everything about her, he ordered over the phone. I don't trust her. Amara had passed one test, but deeper storms were gathering, in silence. Then came the flashbulbs, the whispers, the wolves. Billionaire falls for roadside seller. Mystery girl casts spell on tycoon. Her photo, captured without her knowing, now belonged to strangers. Her piece became headlines. Her stall became a circus. She ran home, tears falling like raindrops on dry earth. Why are they calling me a gold digger? He held her, shielded her, spoke softly. Because people hate what they can't understand. But I know your heart. Let them talk. But even love, in the strongest hands, can tremble under public fire. Some ghosts don't stay buried. Tina returned. She didn't knock. She broadcast. Her lies wrapped in lights, sound bites, and poisoned sugar.
Tina spoke into cameras, not hearts. We were in love. She stole him. I have proof. Photos, screenshots are all fake, but the world doesn't wait for truth. It feeds on the first bite. Hashtag justice for Tina trended. Hashtag gold digger exposed exploded. In a world where lies spread faster than light, the truth stood still. One night, in the garden of gold and grief, she sat alone, hugging her pain like a pillow. Maybe I don't belong here, she whispered. He knelt beside her, like a soldier laying down his armor. Don't say that, he begged. This house, this life, it's yours. But I can see. You're drifting. Her tears weren't loud, but they screamed inside. Maybe Tina was right. Maybe love isn't enough. And then, with the weight of a man who has known loss, he answered, love isn't about fitting into someone's world. It's about building a new one. Together, then, before the nation, he stood tall. Not as a businessman, but as a man in love. He took her hand, held it like a flag, like a promise. She fed me when I was hungry. She stayed when I was dirty. She loved me when I was nothing. No ex, no story, no scandal can rewrite that truth. The cameras stopped clicking, the room held its breath, and in that moment, the nation began to remember what love looked like. Later that night, he took her not to a ballroom, but to a broken room. The floor creaked. The walls cracked. But the memories stood strong. This was where she first saw him. This was where love first opened its eyes. He held out a simple ring. No diamonds. Just depth. Marry me. Not because I'm rich, but because you already made me the richest man in the world. She dropped to her knees, tears falling like blessings. She said yes. Not to wealth. Not to fame. But to the man she met. When the world looked away. Tina was later arrested and his cousin for lies, defame and manipulation. If you like this video, support me by like, subscribe, comments and share for more interesting stories.